बहुत ही तजर्बेकार और बहुत ही अच्छी और ऑनेस्ट सर्विसेज देने वाले मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर श्री रंजीत धालीवाल जी आज हमारे साथ हैं, जिनसे मेरी बातचीत हो रही है। रंजीत धालीवाल जी आपका हज़ारों डॉलर का फ़ायदा करवा सकते हैं अगर आप इनके ज़रिए अपनी मॉर्गेज लेंगे या अपनी रीफाइनेंसिंग करवाएंगे। रंजीत इज़ डाउन टू अर्थ जेंटलमैन, कभी अपने बारे में शेखी नहीं मारते, लेकिन मेरे हाथ में जो पेपर है ये मैं पढ़े बिना नहीं रह सकता। रंजीत जी, जैसा आप जानते हैं, हर हफ्ते आते हैं गीतमाला रेडियो प्रोग्राम में, हर फ्राइडे को। ये प्रोग्राम जो आप सुन रहे हैं हर फ्राइडे पिछले तकरीबन 10 साल से। इसके अलावा बिजनेस न्यूज़ नेटवर्क पर जाते हैं एज ए गेस्ट इन्फॉर्मर और स्पीकर। CBC पर गए हैं, CP24 पर गए हैं, CTV पर गए हैं और इसके अलावा मशहूर तकरीबन 30 न्यूज़पेपर कनाडा के, जिनमें इनके आर्टिकल्स अब तक आ चुके हैं। बहुत ही लर्नड और बहुत ही अप टू डेट न्यूज़ आपको देने वाले मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर और अपने काम में माहिर मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर हैं रंजीत धालीवाल जी। मुझे बहुत ही खुशी है कि हमारी कम्युनिटी में ऐसे जेंटलमैन हैं जो अपना काम तो बखूबी जानते ही हैं, लेकिन कभी ऊंचा लफ्ज़ नहीं बोलते। बहुत ही डाउन टू अर्थ, हमेशा ही अच्छी प्यार से हंस के बात करते हैं और सबका भला चाहते हैं। अगर आप इनसे मॉर्गेज नहीं भी लेंगे तो भी आपको ऐसी एडवाइस देंगे जिससे आपका बहुत सा फ़ायदा हो पाएगा, और हुआ है बहुत से ऐसे लोगों का जिन्होंने इनसे एडवाइस ली है। इनका टेलीफोन नंबर नोट कर लें, 4169927265, 4169927265। रंजीत जी, मैंने कुछ ज़्यादा तो नहीं बोल दिया?
So you keep saying down to earth, but I feel like you've got me floating up in the clouds here. I got to come down now. No, thank you very much for those very nice words.
मैंने कुछ भी बढ़ा चढ़ाकर नहीं कहा, बल्कि इतने न्यूज़पेपर के ये नाम है, मैं पढ़ नहीं सकता। अगर पढ़ने लगूंगा तो मैं शायद आधा घंटा लगा दूँ।
No, thank you, sir.
आधे घंटे का हमारा शो होता है। चलिए, what should people do with respect to mortgages if they are about to lose their job? यानी जिनका काम छूटने वाला है, जॉब जाने वाली है, उनको अपनी मॉर्गेजेस के बारे में क्या करना चाहिए?
Very, very good question, because we get many individuals who sort of knew that they were going to lose a job or they're going to stop working and so on. And then after they lose a job, they come to us, and it's obviously more difficult to get a mortgage. It's not impossible. It's just that you end up paying higher rates. So if you think that you're about to lose a job, I would say contact your mortgage broker and do a mortgage checkup. Do a total debt checkup. And if you have any other debts, or if your mortgage is coming up for renewal, it might be an opportunity for you to make the application a little bit ahead of time so that you can still get the absolute best rates. So definitely don't wait until you lose a job to come and do anything. And sometimes maybe you may not realize that there's an opportunity to maybe get even a better rate, or to combine these higher interest rate debts into the mortgage. You've been putting it off, thinking that it's no big deal. I've still made so much money in the last couple of years, I'd be able to use my tax returns and so on. No, that's not the way. If you lose a job, banks will not give you a mortgage, and then we'd have to go to these subprime lenders who would charge higher interest rates, and we really don't want to do that. So just contact a mortgage broker before you're about to lose a job to set it all up.
You keep on saying contact the mortgage broker. You don't even say contact me.
Well, I'm sure not everybody, all of our listeners will end up contacting me. I'm saying at least contact somebody.
That's why you're down to earth.
No, thank you, sir.
जी हाँ भाई बहनों, रंजीत धालीवाल जी से मिलें और इनसे सलाह मशवरा करें। आपका बहुत ही फ़ायदा करवा के देंगे, हज़ारों डॉलर का फ़ायदा आपका करवा सकते हैं। रंजीत जी, 2012 साल में अपनी मॉर्गेज पे डाउन करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका क्या है?
People come to our office, and I remember a long time ago, we used to encourage individuals to, these ideas. Here are some of these ideas, that this is how you can pay down your mortgage, maybe increase your mortgage payment and so on. And they would say, yeah, we will contact you in about 6 months, or maybe in about a month or 2 months, and then we will increase our payment. But we found that nobody really called back. Because inherently we get caught up in our day-to-day lives and so on. We don't really do it. Then what we started doing is we started telling them that, you know what, once your mortgage is closed, we're going to increase your payment a little bit. If you find it tough, just call us back. We'll reduce it. We also found that anybody whose payments we increased, they also never called back to reduce them.
That's very good.
Right? So I'd say one of the best ways to do it is to increase your payment. And if you can't increase the payment, at least make it bi-weekly accelerated, in which you end up paying at least one extra month's payment. Right? Bi-weekly accelerated doesn't do anything else other than the fact that when you go every 2 weeks, there's 26 bi-weeks in a year. So let's say, for example, you had a monthly payment of $1,000. On 12 months, you're going to end up paying $12,000. Well, if you're doing it bi-weekly, you're going to pay $500. Let's say you take half of that payment. You take $500 times 26 is $13,000. So you really end up paying one extra payment without psychologically feeling it really in your pocket, right?
Yes.
So that's the one thing to do. The second thing to do is increase the payment. And if you increase the payment, you want to decrease it, you're allowed to decrease it back again. But do this after the mortgage closes. Do not do it at the time of the mortgage. Otherwise, if you increase it, you won't be able to reduce it down. So I'd say do those two things. Just do a little bit. And you watch. You're going to be able to, your lifestyle is not going to be cramped too much. And that payment will continue on going. As a result of that, you're going to save thousands and thousands of dollars over the life of the mortgage.
I think अगर हम $100 पर मंथ बढ़ा देते हैं, जितनी मॉर्गेज है हमारी उतनी तो है, प्लस $100 और देना शुरू कर दें.
Yes.
We will find maybe 5-6 years of
taken off. Yeah. On an average mortgage, you're right.
खत्म हो जाएगी 5-6 साल पहले.
Yeah. And in some cases even more.
We will save thousands of interest.
And you won't feel it. That's the main thing, right?
Right. Actually, you will feel it, but you will feel happiness.
Yes,
right?
You'll feel happiness, yes.
All right, क्योंकि mortgage जल्दी खत्म हो रही है, तो happiness तो होगी होगी.
Of course.
Emergency funds हमें चाहिए होते हैं कभी-कभी. क्या हमें अपने क्रेडिट कार्ड से ये फंड्स लेने चाहिए या नहीं?
Now, there's financial advisors that say, you know what, don't keep any money aside for an emergency fund, and you can always tap into a line of credit. You can tap into a credit card. I'm really against that quite a bit because what happens is when you go into those credit cards, first of all, the interest rates are much, much higher. The interest, whatever you take on that, could have paid the interest if it was the same rate on the mortgage. It could have covered that for years and years. So the idea is not only that you're paying much more interest, but as a result of that, when you're in trouble and you're using this and you can't pay back the balance on the credit cards on the line of credit, your credit score starts to come down because 35% of the score is based on balances outstanding. So you're already in trouble, and then now your credit starts to go down, then you get in some serious trouble. So I would strongly say do not use credit cards or lines of credits as an emergency fund. Have money set aside somewhere in a separate savings account, which you can use for an emergency. That way you don't have to tap into this. Your situation will not deteriorate, and you will not end up paying double the interest rates that some other people end up paying when they get in trouble, in that type of trouble where their credit rating goes down.
And your credit rate will stay very healthy this way.
Absolutely.
All right. आखिरी सवाल है मेरा, annual mortgage checkup करवाने का क्या फायदा है?
You know, when we do annual reviews for our clients, they might be in a 5-year mortgage. They think that they don't need to take a look at the mortgage, but we call them up on an annual basis, and we find that there's a lot of opportunities. In some cases, the clients were given a higher rate, not because we intentionally give them a higher rate, but because the rates were higher at a certain point, and maybe it might make sense to pay the penalty and get into a lower rate. Or we see that the individuals got these credit cards, lines of credits. They're paying 18%. 29%. It's very easily you can add it into the mortgage and pay a rate of 2.8% or even lower. Right. So it's very important for that. Second thing is we do credit checks to make sure there's no errors on your report. I mean, my own report, I recently we're doing a closing for one of my rental properties. I had a completely different credit report than what my credit report should be. Completely different. Had to get it corrected. So during an annual mortgage checkup, we can see if there's any errors on the credit report. We can correct them rather than trying to correct them just before the mortgage, and then you have no time. It could take 2-3 months to get this corrected through Equifax.
All right.
So it's very, very important to do.
रंजीत जी, आखिर में एक बार फिर से अपना जो स्पेशल आज दे रहे हैं उसकी जानकारी एक बार फिर से दे दें.
Well, the special that I wanted to give was the 10 tax tips, the free report on 10 tax tips, and anybody can call me and get that report, and I'll email it to you. So you can email me info@clarityfinancial.ca. Or you can also phone me, 416-992-7265, and leave me your telephone number, email address. Definitely leave me your telephone number so I can clarify the email address. Or you can text me at 416-992-7265. And then, sir, you forced up on another special today for the benefit of our listeners. That is the going 5-year fixed rate on a most of the banks are at 3.3949569, whatever they can basically get from you, right? And mortgage brokers may be able to get you a rate of 3.29% on a 5-year fix. Today's special we're giving right here today is 3.14% for the first 10 callers to call 416-992-7265. 3.15%.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू वेरी मच आज आने के लिए और ये तमाम जानकारी देने के लिए और हमारी बात मानने के लिए जो आपने हमारी बात मानकर स्पेशल दिया. थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir, and I hope everyone has a great and profitable week and a profitable year.
तो भाई बहनों उठाइए अपना टेलीफोन और मिलाइए कॉल रंजीत धालीवाल जी के लाइन के साथ और अपना मैसेज छोड़िए, अपना नाम और अपना टेलीफोन नंबर छोड़ें, आपको वापस कॉल करेंगे और जो आज का इनका स्पेशल है उसका फ़ायदा लें. जो पहले 10 कॉलर होंगे उनको 3.14 5 साल का फिक्स रेट दे रहे हैं आज. और जो 10 टैक्स टिप्स हैं वो तो हर एक को मिलेंगी, उसके लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
But that's probably going to save you a lot more than whatever I'm going to save you on this interest, even though we're saving quite a bit on this.
दोनों ही हालात में आपका फायदा होगा, दोनों ही हालात में आपके हजारों डॉलर बचेंगे. इसका जरूर फायदा लें. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका रंजीत जी. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर.
थैंक यू सर.